Hello, everybody. Welcome. So for our meditation today, we'll do a little bit of a body scan for wherever folks out there and here to kind of get yourself placed in the space that you have sort of put aside today for sharing the Dharma day with us. And then we will do some abbreviated recitations. I'll set a short motivation. We'll do a little bit of breathing meditation to get our minds nice and stable and clear. And then because we're going to be speaking about empathy, I thought it would be very, very helpful to open our hearts with revisiting the four Immeasurables today, to kind of get ourselves warmed up to this beautiful empathy that Venerable's going to talk about today. So let's begin first with kind of getting ourselves into the space. And whether you're sitting on a couch or a cushion or a chair, we really want to make sure that our position is conducive for being able to meditate and focus. So try to hold your spine as straight, but yet at ease as you can. The eyes almost closed. Keep a little bit of light coming in. Then the hands are on the thighs below the belly, palms on top of one another, thumbs touching. Really helps to keep the mind sort of settled down. Shoulders are level, chin is slightly tucked down. The tongue is resting above on the upper palate behind the front teeth there. And all of these little sort of finessing of the body posture really does support the mind's ability to pay attention and to stay alert. Make sure your feet are on the floor if you're sitting in a chair, not crossed at the knees, or if you're not, try to sit on the couch, not lie on the couch. And just really get a very easy but very present sense of being embodied. And if there's any place in the body this morning or whatever time you're at right now, is to check in and see if there's any kind of tiredness, fatigue, any soreness. Beginning down with the soles of your feet and just gently scanning the body. And anywhere that you may find some tightness or some unease, pain, bring your mind's attention to that place and imagine that place softening, loosening, unwinding. Maybe gently use the breath to sort of support that attention. And come on up the body. When you get to your face, be very aware of whether your jaw is tight or your brow is furrowed or your eyes are sort of pinched together. And really let the face relax. We take in a lot of data through our senses in our face. The eyes, the ears, the nose, the taste. Let's just give them a little bit of a break here. And up to the crown of your head. And then back down to the soles of your feet. And as you're doing this, try not to make any diagnosis, evaluation on how your body is doing. If there's a sensation there, just gently be aware of it. Give it some care, but no need to evaluate. All the way down to your toes. And then as we do the abbreviated recitations, imagine in the space in front of you in your mind's eye, the Buddha. However you can think of him, maybe you have seen statues of him or paintings of him, but really imagine that you are in the presence of a living being who has limitless compassion and love, a body of light, looking at you with just unconditional love, acceptance, no judgment. And just really get a sense of how safe you are with the Buddha. And then imagine along with you, behind you, as far as you can imagine, sentient beings, all in human form this morning with us. And the Buddha is looking at each and one of them, whether they be friend or foe, stranger, is looking at them with the same equal care and concern as he looks at you. There is no specialty, there's no favoritism. And then imagine the Buddha melting into light, coming down through the crown of your head and the head of all the living beings around you. Filling your body with light, your mind, your thoughts, your feelings, all imbued with loving kindness, compassion, wisdom. And then he reappears at your heart chakra in the center of your chest. So he'll be there with you today. And really get a sense that his holy body, speech, and mind are totally and completely connected to your body, speech, and mind. And so for the motivation this morning, I've been coming up with this image the past 2 days of this vast river. And many times during the teachings over the years, Venerable Thubten has said, being a Dharma practitioner, you really are swimming upstream. All the beings in all the samsaric worlds are under the control of afflictions and karma, just being pulled here, pulled there by the strong currents of afflictions, their karma, self-grasping ignorance. And for the most part, when we're under the control of our afflictions and polluted karma, we are also just moving in that same direction. But as we connect to the Dharma, and really let it open up our hearts and minds to what is possible, to be able to create the causes and conditions for our hearts to be full of compassion and love, wisdom, bodhicitta. It's almost like we get to just, at first, very tenuously and very difficultly moving against the stream of the afflictions and the self-grasping. But the more that we deepen our understanding of the Dharma and our faith in the three jewels, we get to be stronger and stronger swimmers. And as our afflictions, through the practice of loving kindness and wisdom and compassion, not, a little bit, tiny bit less difficult to swim upstream. So today, as we gather together and listen to the Dharma, we really imagine ourselves sort of growing our Dharma strength to be able to continue to swim upstream against the current of not only the samsaric illusion and allure, but also to be able to strengthen our resolve against the afflictions, the unhelpful habits, the attachment, the anger, the ignorance, so that we can become more adept at being able to find our own way upstream, growing stronger and stronger in the Dharma, for not only our own wisdom and clarity and peace of mind, but by extension, by starting to move against the current, we may be able to help those in the river with us also to be able to turn themselves slowly around. With the hopes that one time in the future we will be able to actually leave that river, get onto the shore, to awakening for the benefit of all. Let's put that in as our aspiration, our motivation today. And so for the next few minutes, let's just spend some time in some stabilizing meditation. You can use the image of the Buddha if you are familiar with his beautiful body of light. Or if you want to use your breath, something that you can really hold to, so when your mind wanders away, you know to bring it back to that object. So use either one of those images or objects that works for you. And to try not to hold too tight, but stay focused. This is harder than it sounds. The mind wants to wander away to the past, to the future, to outside sounds, smells. Just gently bring it back. This is really helpful to get the mind, once it only has one object, instead of trying to multitask, it actually gets a little bit more stable, a little bit more focused, a little bit clearer. So let's do that for a few minutes. And so for the first immeasurable, it's love or Maitri. Once again, we're going to just be with our minds and try to generate a feeling in regards to these immeasurables. So love or Maitri is a warm-hearted friendliness towards all, wishing that all beings be well. And that they are able to create the causes to have that kind of warm-hearted friendliness in their own minds. So if you see if you can generate that feeling of love in your own heart. This wish. And then think of someone or a situation in your life, maybe something happening in your community or something that's happening in the larger world, where when you think about it, when you read about it, this particular immeasurable of love would be really helpful for you to have. And make this really personal, make this very specific. Where might this mind of love come in handy and be helpful for you when you think of somebody or something that's happening in the world or in your life? And then the second immeasurable is compassion or karuna. This is a beautiful mind that wishes that everyone who is suffering, physically or mentally, be it a small annoyance or horrific pain, to wish them to be not only free of that suffering, but the causes that bring that suffering. Because this is such a powerful mental state, wishing for ourselves to have the ability to look at suffering wherever we see it without falling into despair. So see if you can generate or imagine what this deep compassion would feel like and the wish sent out in the world. Freedom from suffering, however it manifests, and the causes of it. And then think of someone or a situation in your life, in your community, maybe even the world, where this mind of karuna would be helpful for you. Imagine having this quality in you when you think of this person, when you're in the situation, or you read about something in the world. What specifically where could you put compassion? How would you generate that? In what situation, or when you look at the news, where would this quality really be helpful for you? with all the suffering. And be real specific, not a general sense, just hone in on something or somebody that you'd love to have compassion towards. And then the third immeasurable is the wish to rejoice, the wish that all sentient beings are able to rejoice in each other's good fortune, virtuous actions, goodness. So to try to generate that mind of joy that delights in seeing others get what they need, be successful, have good health, be generous, without any sense of jealousy or envy. To just be delighted in goodness. And then think of someone in your life or someone you've seen in your community or world where this mind would be really helpful for you. And imagine having this quality in you when you're in relationship to them or you read about them, that you're really delighted at all the good fortune, all the virtue, all the success they have, with no jealousy, no envy. This particular third immeasurable is called mudita. And then the fourth immeasurable, equanimity or upekkha, is this impartial, deep care and concern for everyone, regardless of who they are, whether they agree with us or like us, listen to us. That we really see the potential of everyone to change and grow. So see if you can get a sense of what that would be like in your mind, to have that kind of unbiased, impartial care and concern for everyone. And then think of someone or a situation in your life, your community, the world, where this mind of upekkha would be really helpful for you. And imagine having this quality when you are in relationship with a person or a situation, or you read about something that's going on in the world, to have this impartial, loving concern, unbiased, irregardless of whether they are anywhere in your purview as far as philosophies, beliefs, political opinions. priorities. So the four measurables are a really beautiful anchor in our daily life to help us to prioritize what it is we want to focus on, the qualities we want to cultivate, because we're in relationship with the world all the time. And they are really, truly precious qualities to cultivate, because there are immeasurable beings that really deserve the relationship to us through these four immeasurables. So let's really make a commitment to try to cultivate them, continue to nourish them if we have them in our hearts already. And then we'll dedicate all the merit and all the good energy that we have generated during this time together, thinking about the immeasurables, thinking about our refuge and bodhicitta, and we'll make the dedication.